Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Trina. Today's video, we are going to be wrapping up all of the books that I've read for the month of August 2025. So today is actually August 28th, so I still have technically three or 4 days left. 30 or 4 days left until the end of the month. However, I am filming this in advance because I have stuff to do at the beginning of September, so I really need to batch film a bunch of videos. So anyway, we're going to be wrapping up all the books that I've read, and I could say that I guess technically these are all of the books that I've read for August. So let's get right into it. I am, I guess, posting this after my monthly vlog situation, my hobbies vlog for the month of August. So this is not necessarily that spoilery for you guys if you have watched that video, but if you have, let's just go right to the next page. So for the month of August, I actually technically read 11 books, which is fine. I wanted it to be like either like it's supposed to be divisible by 5, so it might have been very much what do you call this? Ideal if my number count for my reads ends in a 0 or a 5. However, you have not seen my book blanket yet because I have not updated it yet. I am still in the middle of July because of the 30 books that I've read that month. So I still need to crochet like 10 more squares for the month of July, and then I could reach August. So I'm not updated with that blanket yet, but I'm slowly doing it. But yeah, it's fine. So 11 books for the month of August, technically. So we're going to start with the first one, which is The Women by Kristin Hannah. I'm putting a photo of the book here on screen because I'm having a little bit of trouble editing the book covers on the screen in my editing app. So I'm going to just put it here so that it's one less headache for me. So The Women by Kristin Hannah, I gave this a 5-star. This book, I listened on audio and it was actually heartbreaking, beautiful. Oh my gosh. The fact that there are so many emotions when it comes to like witnessing something horrific as war, even if you're not necessarily like fighting the war. So we are following our main character, Frankie, whose brother actually went to war during the Vietnam War. And she is a nurse who just started out, and she wanted to follow in her brother's footsteps and go to war herself as one of the nurses for the medical team. And of course, family did not approve, even though they are like a very military family. I believe they were in the Navy, or what was there? I forgot if it's Navy or Air Force. They are not Army people, but the father is like whole line of war veterans, and they always are proud of their sons who went to war and consider them heroes. And one of the brother's friends was looking at all of these like portraits of like past officers from the family who are considered heroes of war. And Frankie was like, why are there no women pictures anywhere? And the friend was like, women can be heroes too. And this sparks like her inspiration and motivation to go to war and help her fellow citizens. And when she came back, things are very much different for the women who went to war, and the misconception of there were no women in the war, I guess. So it's like heartbreaking, frustrating. There's a love story in there that's also very much heartbreaking, and the ending is just good. I love the ending. The progress of the story is like gripping that I just wanted to continue reading it. And this is, I believe, my first Kristin Hannah book. So I already love this author. I already love this writing style. So I'm probably going to pick up something from her backlist. The next book, technically, I'm not done with it, which is The Tainted Cup by Robert Jackson Bennett. I am in the middle of this as of the moment, around almost 50% into the book. Still have 4 days for me to finish this book, but I'm already enjoying it. This is going to probably be another 5-star for me, like a high 4 to a 5. As of the moment, it is a high 4, 4.5, 4.75, those types of ratings. It gives me that same sort of vibe that I felt for like The Will of the Many when I first picked it up. Like it already intrigued me. We are following our main character is Din and his boss Anna, who are like investigators, and in this like fantasy world wherein one of like the officers have suddenly died of a strange circumstance, and they are like investigating this case. They are basically in this like wall that protects them from the leviathans, and it is like wet season, so time of like attack for the leviathans. And this is like the first book of the Shadows of Leviathan series. It is very intriguing. It's very interesting. I like how Anna thinks, and I like that Din, like a lot of the people that are in this book are actually like they call grafted, so they are like scientifically enhanced people. So based on your work, you're enhanced. Like for example, if you are a um, part of the apothecals, you are having grafted like enhanced smells, so your nose might look different. As for Din, who is an investigator's assistant, um, detective assistant, so he has to have like this very enhanced memory. So there are like stuff in his brain that they put in so that every time he smells a certain smell, he could recall perfectly what he saw, what he's like listened to, what he smelled, every information he could recall just by smelling a certain scent, which to me actually, as I think about it, is quite interesting, because this is a tangent by the way, but I remember this was like a memory help for like students. I remember there was this teacher that told us that there was this study wherein if you are studying for like a very hard exam, that this actually is if you are like your school is allowed for you to eat or consume something while you are in an exam hall. So check that out before you try this, because my university allows us to eat anything while we're taking like 5 hour long exams. So what my teacher suggested is that you could do gum, you could do candy, or anything small that is not like very heavy on the scent, something small. So, for example, a mint gum. You eat this mint gum every time you study this certain subject. It like triggers like your memory. So whenever you eat this certain gum flavor, like this mint gum, it moves your memory, or like it triggers your memory so that you could have better recall on that subject you were studying. And yeah, I think it's interesting, and I think that is like almost the similar concept here, wherein Din smells a certain scent in his vial first, and then experience and like investigates or like interviews, and then whenever he opens that vial and smells it again, he recalls completely what happened in that interview, all of the information, and it's interesting. I really enjoy it, and yeah, high four, almost a 5 star. We'll see at the end of the month, but I really am interested in continuing with this. The next one that I have here is actually a physical read for me. This is Kate Ellis, The Death Season. I purchased this at like on a thrift store find for me when I was out with my best friend, and I gave this a 3.5 star. This is actually the 19th book in the D.I. Wesley series, and to be perfectly honest, I can't for the life of me remember that much what happened in this book. Hold on a sec. Oh, the ice house. Okay, so this sort of case um, spans centuries that happened in this area. I don't know how to connect this actually, but there are this mysterious like break-ins, thievery, and a murder happened, and we are like looking for the reason or like the connection between all of these people and what's going on with them. Turns out, I don't want to spoil it actually, but it's like, how do I explain this? It's basically a murder mystery in a way wherein the past actually explains why the murder happened, something like that, and like their discoveries and such. I enjoyed the middle part of this until like the reveal. The first half of it, I don't really enjoy, but it was an okay experience, I guess. 19 in the series, so like, anyway, The next one we have here is The Prison Healer by Lynette Noni, first of the Prison Healer series. Gave this a 3-star. I thought I was not going to listen to any YA or read any YA books anymore. However, very readable, pretty much interesting. We are following our main character. What is her name again? I keep forgetting main character names. But what do you call this? I can't recall. Kiva. Kiva is her name. So Kiva is this appointed healer for a prison wherein they house all of like the traitors and the rebels of the kingdom. And one day she was assigned to treat the rebel princess who is going to go through these elemental trials. The rebel princess is basically incapacitated. She can't go into these trials. And this gave Kiva like an opportunity and a choice to take part in the trials in the place of the rebel princess. The reason why Kiva was in prison in the first place was supposed to be a mistake, but then she's trying to get out, and this is like her opportunity to get out. And she forms relationships in the prison, yada yada yada. First book in the series, quite interesting. I am actually listening to the second book as of the moment, but I'm not in that particular mood to continue with it as of the moment. The next book we have here is Matchmaking for Psychopaths. This is the new release book that I chose for the Herkid. I forgot to bring my Herkid prompt. I'll get it in a bit. So Matchmaking for Psychopaths, we are following our main character, Destiny. She is a matchmaker, as the title suggests, a matchmaker by trade for certain people in their demographic that are considered psychopaths. So those people that are intimidating, sort of like giving a very strange aura. And she believes that like she's obsessed with reality TV, rom-coms, love stories, movies, anything that has to do with like finding your match, finding your destiny, as her name is. And she loves doing this, watching these movies and shows with her mom and then her best friend. And we start off the book with actually her fiance leaving her for her best friend on her birthday. If that isn't a villain origin story, I don't know what that is. So anyway, this gives me like pretty much Mayfly vibes if Mayfly has a good ending, quote unquote, so to speak. Like Mayfly ending was good, but I mean like good in a sense of like a happy ending of some sort. So yeah, I don't feel sorry for the people who are inconvenienced or like terrible in this book, but I did enjoy like the whole progression of the story. I gave this a 3.5 stars, horror thriller, not bad, not bad. And yeah, I think I would like, I can see here that she's also the author of Love Letters to a Serial Killer. I might pick that up as well. It sounds fun. The next one here is A Million Worlds with You by Claudia Gray. This is the last book of the Firebird series, another YA that I have been putting off since it was released. I only recently, I believe last year, read the second book, and finally closure, let's just end it, because I started reading the first book. I really loved it. To be perfectly honest, I think that I should have just stopped with the first book because I did not enjoy the third book at all. First book, great. Second book, meh. Third book, don't even. It's like so many loopholes, so many, like it's trying to get to an ending. However, it keeps putting off that ending, I feel. So I give this a 2-star. I should not have like picked it up and just left it. With the second book, it was fine at that point. But I guess if you're really interested in this, it is a romance YA sci-fi wherein our main character, Marguerite, is the daughter of two genius inventors who invented the Firebird that enables a person to travel to parallel worlds, parallel dimensions, that you are in there and you get to experience the world of what if. Like what if you chose a different path? What if you chose to live in a different different part of the world rather. And it also talks about like destiny and connection with people. Like in every universe, there is always someone who is tied with you, something like that. So yeah, it's fine. The next one here is A Map of Days by Ransom Riggs. This is the fourth book of the Miss Peregrine's Peculiar Children's series. Gave this a 3-star. It has a Netflix series, so it's quite popular now. I am actually going to be DNFing this series. I'm stopping here. I believe there's like 2 or 3 more books after this one, and I don't think I'm going to continue with it anymore. I don't want to say my reason because you could read it, but I don't want to say my reason out loud in case you're just listening and not technically reading my review, because my review is a spoiler. But it just so happens that I'm quite frustrated with how things are going on with the back and forth between Jacob and Emma, and I'm like, I'm done with it. I'm not going to continue. The time has passed since I am like enjoying these sorts of like dynamics, so that's a pass for me. The next one here is If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio, Dark Academia theater kid. Very interesting thriller, not thriller, thriller? Mystery thriller, I guess, but more Dark Academia. I read Graveyard Shift by the same author. Did not really enjoy it that much. It was interesting, but not that much. But this one, I was really hooked. I even wrote down a bunch of quotes here. My friend actually recommended this to me. She has been recommending to me like queer literature, queer stories, and also like very dark academia sorts of books. Call Me by Your Name, Secret History, and now If We Were Villains is our third like buddy read. And she already read this book, and I was like ranting to her and like being very stressed. So basically, this book we are following our main characters, technically Oliver, but we are following him and his 6 friends, 7 theater kids that are 4th year in this university. They are like doing different productions and like auditioning for roles for their major plays in the university. They're basically theater actors in the making, and their dynamics and like it's such a mess. They are such a mess. They are like pretty much ruined by the time the first incident happened. And when one of them dies, everything falls, like everything is messed up already. So everything falls apart. They're all broken inside and out. And it's just very much interesting to follow along Oliver and how it all happened. And this is basically like every other sentence, they're like quoting a certain certain play or certain line in a play of like classic Shakespeare, those sorts of stuff. And like I'm having a good time. I give it a 4-star. The next one here is Remarkably Bright Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt. I, for one, am kind of disappointed in myself that I did not give this a 5-star. I did film a video wherein this was part of my 5-star prediction, and I gave it a 3.5 star because at first, I don't know if it was like a me thing because I read this while I was like delirious from medicine, but I did not enjoy the first half of this book. I enjoyed it at the point wherein things start to fall in place with like Cameron and Tova. Tova is an elderly woman who takes care, is like the caretaker for this aquarium during the night, and she has this very strange but cute relationship with the giant Pacific octopus in the exhibit. And they form a bond. Marcellus, the octopus, is quite endearing. I understand why a lot of people like this certain character, and I love him too. But I guess there are some points wherein like I don't know where this is going just yet, but I don't care for it that much. However, that ending wherein everything falls into place was actually quite beautiful. If it did not end that way, I might have given this like a 3-star. But since it ended that way, I gave it a little bit higher, but I guess 4 stars was like too high for my liking. So I gave it a 3.5. It's still enjoyable. I still recommend it. And then another one here is The Lies of the Ajungo by Moses Ose Utomi. I hope I am saying that correctly. This is first in the Forever Desert trilogy. So this is like a very dystopian-ish, like almost inspired by Africa is what the synopsis placed. It is about our main character who is 12 years old, going 13, in their village or city. Tutu, our main character, Toto, our main character, like when you are under 13, you can still speak. And in their city, they don't have water. In order for them to have water, they have to exchange their tongues for water supply from the Ajongo, who basically is like the authority figure that they are fearing. And so when they turn 13, they sacrifice their tongue in order to have water supply, something like that. And when he was almost 13 years old, his mother suffered like dehydration and wants to go out into the desert to find water. And they say that there's no heroes in the city. And when he went out there, he did try though. He went out and found friends from other different cities, and they discover some sort of conspiracy. And for me, this is like they are like see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil situation. And I really like how the story progressed, how Tutu discovered that it is not how it seems. There's like a bigger lie beyond just the lies that they say. And yeah, it was interesting. I am looking forward to reading the next part of this because it's very short, and I'm wondering if like all of these different cities will band together and something like that. Quite interesting. I really enjoyed that metaphor. And the last book that I've read for this month is Lore Olympus by Rachel Smith. Smith or Smith? Smith, maybe. So Lore Olympus Volume 1. I sadly gave this actually 2.75 stars. The purpose of me reading Lore Olympus was to get like the graphic novel part of Herkid. And I don't know if I enjoyed it or not because that ending, my God, I believe I did react to this in my vlog, but no. Like the art is very beautiful. The story, like the romance, this is a Hades and Persephone retelling, love story. And I like it in a way, but I also don't like what's going on. I, for one, know, I guess it's like culture shock for me in a way when I read how the story was progressing, and it's kind of not for me, if I'm being honest. So that's why I gave it a 2.75 star. So yeah, those are like the 11 books that I've read for the month. I did, however, have two books here that are like blank. So one of them is, of course, The Gilded Cage by Lina Toni. This is the second of the Prison Healer series. I did start it on audio. I lasted 30 minutes and I turned the audio off. I am not, I guess, in that mind space to do it. I guess maybe I will try to have like another like crafting session and then listen to the audiobook, like something for like the background. And the other one is The Twisted Ones by T. Kingfisher. This was supposed to be for my horror fantasy pick of the month. Have not touched it. But I am going to read this because I have like the sort of vlog idea for September. So this is going to be an entry for my September reading because I know that I will get this read. And the other book that I did not actually touch, I did actually read like three chapters, is Dracula. And I was hoping that maybe I will get halfway through in the month of August. Nope, I lasted 3 chapters and started this monthly vlog situation. So I'm going to get my Herkid board or cards notepad, and I will show you the progress. So this is the second month of Herkid update. Okay, so here we are. I better wrap up this properly. For the deck of TBR, I mentioned the 3 books that I have not finished yet. Probably going to finish The Tainted Cup. So I am going to transfer out The Twisted Ones as well as Dracula in next month. As for my reading vlog, I did complete my name category for the Herkid Square. So we have finally colored in 1 major square for our Herkid 2.0 bingo board. I did use the color purple for that so that we could indicate that it has been completed in the month of August. So we have finished 11 books, 2,876 pages, and 29 hours and 37 minutes of audiobook. I did already compute the Tainted Cup number of pages in this count, so that's fine. So we have 1 2-star, 1.2.75 star, 2 3 stars, 3 3.5 stars, 2 4 stars. For now, 1 5-star, but I'm positive that I'm going to give Tainted Cup 5 stars, but I am keeping that open because it might be a 6-star book. Who knows? I'm still very early into the book, so I'm going to keep that blank and also keep the average blank. So 5-star books is The Women, and then Finish series or series that I have done F. For the Finish is Firebird series. The DNFs are Miss Peregrine series and Lore Olympus. And then series I started, Prison Healer, Forever Forest, and then The Shadow of the Leviathan series. Now we proceed to all of the ones that I have here for Her Kid. As I said, we already colored in for the name. And I guess I could do like a visual. I haven't edited my visuals at all for this. So for the first category, we have creatures. I did add a Prison Healer for mages because they have elemental magic. For animals category, I did add Remarkably Bright Creatures because Marcellus is an octopus in an aquarium. And then for the name, this is like the whole bulk of the reading vlog. So we completed this. A for A Map of Days, Y for A Million Worlds with You, R for Remarkably Bright Creatures again, I If We Were Villains, and A The Lies of the Ajungo. And then we also have for our new releases, for the new release for the month of July 2025, I added Matchmaking for Psychopaths. For BIPOC authors, The Lies of the Jungle. Physical TBR Red is The Death Season, Kate Ellis. And then I did add The Women for standalone. And then for the trilogy, I did put the Prison Healer trilogy here. I committed to it. So the first book we have finished in the month of August. So we have the Prison Healer there. And then for the last 10 years, we have 2015, The Death Season, 2017, If We Were Villains, and 2024, The Women. And then next we have adaptations. So I added Lore Olympus Volume 1 for graphic novel. And then for Deck of TBR, I have not finished this yet, but I am adding all of the books that I've rolled for Deck of TBR. We have A Million Worlds with You, A Map of Days, Twisted Ones, Tainted Cup, Dracula, and Matchmaking for Psychopaths, with an asterisk noting that I have not finished reading 3 of the 6 books that are included in that. So that is it for all of the books that I've read for the month of August. I'm very much looking forward actually to the month of September because there are very much a lot of exciting books to be read for the month of September. So I hope you look forward to that. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed this video and I will see you in the next one. So until then guys, take care and bye-bye.